Hello, folks. Thanks for joining today. Our weekly Wednesday webinar series continues. All these are free. freeTVee really exists to help people and really inform people of making better decisions about just TV and entertainment in general. So glad you're able to join. Hopefully you can hear okay. If you have any questions, you can put them on the chat on the right-hand side. Also, make sure you subscribe to our freeTVee YouTube channel for other updates and future free webinars. Also, if you have any ideas for future topics that you have questions on related to really anything cord cutting, saving money, antennas, streaming, internet, Wi-Fi, cable, satellite, really anything, you can put them in the chat on the right-hand side as well. I'll get to any questions towards the end and try to get to all the questions and such. Hopefully everybody's tuning in. I know people will be kind of tuning in as we go along, so we'll probably just get started. But if you have any questions, like I said, just put them on the right-hand side there in the chat. Future webinar topics we have coming up. Actually, I think in 2 weeks, towards the end of the month, we're going to be doing one on just free streaming services. The following week in early August, we'll be doing one on just how to get all types of sports via cord cutting. After that, we have one coming up on Comcast's new smoke and mirrors, Flex and Peacock service. Yes, you guessed it. It's not a good deal for cord cutters. Kind of like anything Comcast and Dish and DirecTV do, usually is not really a great thing for cord cutters. So that'll be coming up towards I think the middle of August, beginning of August, and then towards the end of August we'll have a cord cutting session, a free webinar on just all the different things that DIY cord cutters will run into, all the different problems that come up. Cord cutting is pretty crazy. I mean, there's a lot of great options out there nowadays, but it's kind of a hot, confusing mess. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't work very well, whether that's hardware or streaming services or antennas, things like that. We'll touch on some of those things today, obviously, but we'll have a more detailed session on that. So anyway, if you go to the website, www.freeTVee.com, that's a really great resource. We put news and blog articles out there for our customers. We have a newsletter that comes out monthly with a lot of great tips and tricks. But future webinars and just all of our webinars, you can share this with friends and family, whether they're customers or not. Just go to watch a webinar. If you are a customer, we appreciate it. It's not easy doing what we do. It's definitely challenging. We try to make it easy as possible for our customers, obviously, by doing all the work. And quite frankly, we've been doing this for 10 years, so we're experts at it. But you know, we're dealing with the big corporations, right? So it's not easy to do what we do. It's not easy to cut the cord and at least do it right. But if you go to refer a friend, we actually pay our customers back for referrals. And then if you're new to cord cutting, if you're new today, you can actually just schedule a call, which is more of a one-on-one kind of personalized. We'll be able to let you know exactly how much money we can save you every month. Definitely worth the chat. Our average customer saves $1,500 a year. So significant, especially over traditional cable and satellite, because it's not like that's getting less expensive. It's actually getting more expensive over time, year over year. So my history, I'm Brian Cavanaugh, by the way. I'm the founder and co-CEO of freeTVee. I worked for Big Telecom for 13 years, worked part of that out of the service office, the other part of it out of the corporate office, and really, in essence, just got tired of watching people and just hearing people getting, you know, treated poorly, and the poor customer service, the hundreds of channels for hundreds of dollars a month. You know, there was no end in sight. So I decided to start freeTVee 10 years ago to try to help people out. Like I was saying before, you know, cord cutting and at least doing it right isn't easy. There's a lot of problems that come up, a lot of different antennas, a lot of different hardware, streaming services, streaming sticks, modems, mesh, Wi-Fi. So we just bring it all together. Really, with freeTVee, we're kind of about three things. One is just giving people the freedom to do what they want when they want. The second thing is really saving money, the most money every month. Yeah, there's different ways to cut the cord, but to do it right and save the most money, you really have to have a lot of things that kind of come together, and that's what we bring to the table. Our customers just sit back and relax, and we take care of everything. And then the third thing we're all about is just ease of use. So you don't have to have a bunch of different remotes. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to watch TV. Your spouse isn't angry at you because you cut the cord and you did it wrong. You just hire us to do it right the first time. We have a simple setup that we do for a lot of our customers. It's one remote control, one interface for everything. So I'll show you that throughout the presentation here today. Like I said, that's kind of what we're about. I think the first place to start, though, is if you go to our website here on the Services tab, the kind of important thing to know at a high level, and there is a great video here, by the way, if you're new to freeTVee, you can kind of watch, gives you kind of all the rundown on everything. But these are the different services we offer. So at a high level, I think it's really important to understand, at least what we recommend for cord cutters is, there's basically two different sources for TV. So the first source that we actually recommend for anybody that can get it, if you're in a home at least and not an apartment, we don't do the little cheapo indoor antennas. They just don't work, quite frankly. They're cluttering up your house with indoor antennas all over the place, but also you just always have reception issues. So with freeTVee, part of the reason we got nothing but 5-star reviews is because we do it right the first time. So we do like a really powerful, really small but powerful, either attic or outdoor antenna. And the reason we recommend the antenna for one source for TV is it puts you back in control again, because it gets you like 50, 60 channels for free. Most importantly, it's all your major networks. And those are the most expensive channels to get, quite frankly. But on the antenna, you're getting them for free, and it's better HD quality, and you can watch different things at different times. So the first source for TV is an antenna, an outdoor and attic antenna. Really, if you have your network channels, that's always going to get you, every single Broncos game, all the major sports, all your local news, all the main shows, ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, and then PBS, a whole bunch of other stuff too. So that's one source for TV is the antenna. We'll have separate webinars on all the details about that. I'll show you a little bit of integration with that, where you can have a nice grid TV guide and DVR for no monthly rate as well. So that's what's great, right? Hence the name freeTVee. That's all free. So literally there's no monthly rate at all. The second source for TV is streaming. And there's things like Netflix and Prime and YouTube and all kinds of great stuff. We have a webinar in 2 weeks that actually tells you about a bunch of great free options for streaming. So make sure to go to the website, click on watch a webinar, and you can actually sign up for future webinars there for free. That'll be a really good one in 2 weeks to tune into for sure. We have a package called Happy Streamer that basically streaming is based on your internet and your Wi-Fi. And if you don't have good Wi-Fi, your streaming is not going to be very good, whether that's Netflix or these live streaming services as well. So we'll get into some of these live streaming services in just a bit and what the options are. But the key to kind of remember there is the antenna is one source for TV that has nothing to do with internet or streaming or anything. We have a setup that can actually integrate it together, which is what this flexible freedom is. It's basically bringing these two things together and putting it together in one and making it so it's really easy to use. One remote control, grid TV guide, DVR, no monthly rate. And then your cable channels are a lot more flexible because you can kind of come and go as you please and get things a la carte or skinny bundles, stuff like that, for a lot less money on a monthly basis, because you're getting your local channels free off the antenna. So anyway, that's kind of the high level overview. And now we'll get into more of the details. The good thing about what we do is, even if you've installed one of these things, we can actually morph it into an easier solution that's actually less expensive on a monthly basis with no contracts too. So it's really flexible to kind of go from one to the other. Even if you're an existing customer, for instance, you want to upgrade or something. So anyway, that's kind of the high level there. The other thing I want to show you just real quick here is, if you go to our website, you go over to this news section, that's actually our blog. So I put together a blog this last week or so that covers a lot of the topics we're talking about today. And it's this top one here that talks about really just YouTube TV price increases, but also just cable and satellite price increases as well. So this blog is a great resource. we're going to actually talk about this next, why cable TV prices keep increasing. It's a pretty interesting dynamic. And then, we'll cover some of this other stuff on here throughout the conversation as well. You can see like a typical cord cutter with, at least if you're doing it right, with freeTVee, we set you up for a whole bunch of huge monthly savings versus cable and satellite just keeps going up and up and up with more sneaky fees, bait and switch pricing, contracts, all the other nonsense that people are obviously fed up with. That's what freeTVee is really all about, is to get you away from that. Yes, save you a bunch of money. Our average customer saves $1,500 a month, or excuse me, a year. But it's also to give you the freedom to do what you want when you want. So that's part of our discussion today. And the other thing we're going to be talking about is, what are the different options? So there's really like about 10 different live streaming services, plus another like bunch of a la carte options, even on top of that. There's all kinds of free options, which we'll have a webinar in a couple weeks on that for streaming. Like I said, there's really almost information overload as far as the amount of content out there. And quite frankly, it's just getting better and better from the standpoint of content. The positive is the content, right? There's an amazing amount of competition. There's an amazing amount of content out there. What we found that a lot of our users do is when they first sign up, they're like, oh, I need this specific cable channel and that specific cable channel and whatever. And they have this kind of like cable and satellite bundle, which is fine. But what we notice over time that a lot of our customers do is they find that, oh man, there's a lot of this other incredible stuff out there that's free in a lot of cases, or there's things like Netflix or Prime or other streaming services. And it's like, wow, I'm watching this Netflix or Prime like 50, 75% of the time. Like, why am I even paying for cable and satellite? So that's really the way things are going. But first, I want to kind of go back and kind of explain really the phenomenon of not just some of these upper tier like live streaming services, but also just cable and satellite in general. Why do cable TV prices keep increasing? So it's kind of counterintuitive. A lot of people don't realize this, but in cable and satellite, there's your TV providers, right? Comcast, Dish, DirecTV. And then the other side of it is there are the content providers themselves. And, there's kind of like 10 major players. There's NBC Universal, there's CBS Viacom, there's like Turner, there's ESPN and Disney, things like that. So what happens is, and it's actually not getting better, it's getting worse. You would think because 6 million people cut the cord last year that it would be getting better, but it hasn't. It hasn't for years, and it won't because of the way they set up the agreements. So whether it's your cable and satellite provider, even with YouTube Live, with some of these high tier upper cable channels, the ones that cost the most are sports, especially regional sports network, which is why Altitude TV is blacked out right now, quite frankly. Local channels are the next most expensive, and then cable like news networks like Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. Those are kind of the highest tiers. But the problem is the content providers, they have to deal with, let's say, Patrick Mahomes signing a contract for $500 million. And even if you don't watch sports, ESPN, CBS, Fox, all these guys, guess who's paying for that $500 million contract? Yeah, the content providers to some extent, but guess who they pass that down to? They pass that down to the pay TV providers. And they pass that down to the customers because they're not going to lose money, right? Comcast doesn't care. They got a big, gigantic corporate thing going on. They need to make money, right? Well, there's not much money in TV left anymore because if you do the math, 6 million people last year cut the cord. So they have this downward trend, which is just continuing. There was another record the first quarter of 2020 with cord cutters. Over 2 million people cut the cord. And that was before coronavirus hit, right? Imagine what's happening with coronavirus and the recession, and your Comcast and your cable and satellite bill, that's the biggest utility you have. So guess what? People are going to be chopping that out of there, which makes sense, right? It's a no-brainer to do that. But the content prices, because of Patrick Mahomes and all these other people signing deals, and CBS Viacom and ESPN, Disney, and they're going up. So there's this huge gap in here where they don't have a choice. They have to raise prices because they're not going to lose money, right? So that's what's going on in the industry. And it's actually, don't fool yourself. If you stick with cable and satellite and you think, oh, my bill is actually going to go down because people are cutting the cord. No, it's actually going to go up. It's going to get worse, right? So if you've already cut the cord, well, great for you. If you've cut the cord with freeTVee, even better, because we ensure that not only do you have the freedom, no contracts, switch around, do whatever you want, whenever you want, but with freeTVee, we're all about making sure you have the lowest bill every month and that you're in control of that. So what we recommend is antenna-based cord cutting. Yes, if you're in an apartment, that can be challenging because we don't recommend indoor antennas, but we'll get into some other options there in just a bit. What I want to show you first, though, if I kind of hit the home button on here, is this is a system that we integrate and recommend for most of our customers that are in a home with good antenna reception. By the way, if you go to our website, schedule a call. If you're new to freeTVee, we can tell you if you're in a good spot to get an antenna. We install a really small, really powerful, either attic or outdoor antenna for rock solid, reception. This is a system that we integrate together that makes it so it's super simple, right? It's one remote control. Everything is in one spot. So you have your apps, but you also have your traditional grid TV guide. And you can see in here, it integrates in a lot of the great streaming channels with, yes, the antenna channels as well. So the streaming services that we recommend are not the ones that cover local network channels, because you can get those for free off of an antenna. So there's no sense in paying for those. Streaming services, by the way, they actually charge $20 for the 4 major networks. So you can do the math on that. Like, that's a losing proposition. That's why even cable and satellite, or even these higher Hulu Live or YouTube TV, their bills are always going to creep up, because they have not just the cable news and the sports, but they have the local channels, which are charging $20 for the 4 major networks per customer. However, if you do something like this, what we recommend, and you do an antenna, you can see I have my same exact Fox. I have my same exact CW and ABC and CBS, and I can actually watch these live, on demand, DVR. I can pause live TV. I can record shows. I can skip commercials, all for free. So this is the exact same CBS feed that's coming, that you're paying every month for, that freeTVee customers are getting totally free, where you're never paying a thing for it. So same deal, right? I can pause live TV. The HD quality is actually better than what you pay for, which seems crazy, I know, because cable and satellite charges you extra every month for, nickel and dime fees, broadcast TV fee, HD fee, sports fee, box fees. Like, it's total nonsense, right? So going back, that's what we set up for, is to make sure that you don't have to worry about any of those extra fees. So we'll pause that, we'll go back. And side benefit, it's free on all your TVs. There's no monthly rate at all. Even if you want to add on a DVR to record shows and skip commercials, you can see I can record series, I can record episodes. It's all super simple. Now it's set up to record, recording scheduled, piece of cake, right? So it's the same exact stuff. Why would you pay extra to cable and satellite when you can get all the same channels? Like 98% of even the cable channels are available. All the local network channels are available for free. There's no extra box fees, no fees at all. It's super simple. It's one remote control, one interface for everything. You still have your grid TV guide. You still have your whole home DVR if you want. That's really what freeTVee brings to the table. And that's what we recommend. Now, the streaming services that we recommend, because of the antenna that we install, are either a la carte, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15 a month for like premium movie channels, all month to month, a la carte. None of this like bait and switch pricing, none of this like contracts and you're stuck and the price goes up. It's all month to month, right? So you're in control. But there's skinny bundles of streaming services that are less expensive that we recommend that are like 20 or 30 bucks a month. And you get like the top 30, 50, 60 cable channels. So same exact channels. They integrate into the grid TV guide. Like you can see your CNN and Comedy Central here and Discovery and Fox News. So again, instead of paying 65 or cable and satellite prices of $100, $150 a month, $200 a month, all that stuff's gone, right? So it's just a smarter way to do it where you're just cutting out the middleman. Now with cord cutting, yes, you do pay more up front. We're not here to like do the bait and switch pricing and pull some smoke and mirrors trick on people. We got nothing but 5-star reviews for a reason. We've been doing this for 10 years. We're experts at it. We know what we're doing. We also care about what we're doing too. So yes, it's not easy, but we want to be straightforward with you up front. Yes, you do pay more up front because you're buying the hardware you need to get the channels you want, integrate it together, make it easy to use, you know, one remote control type of thing. However, if you do the math, it's a no-brainer, right? Because who wouldn't pay $300, $500, $1,000 even up front to be saving $1,500 a year, right? I mean, like, it's just a math problem, and it's a pretty easy math problem, right? It's a no-brainer because after you're paid off for the hardware, let's say 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, whatever, all that money is going back in your pocket. And then you have the freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want. Your 50, 60 antenna channels are always free. You're literally just paying internet only. We help you negotiate that down. So you're getting internet anywhere from $30 to $55 a month. Tax on internet's less than $1. So your gigantic $200 bill for your supposed bundle deal is going from 200 bucks or whatever you're paying way down to like 30, 40, 50 bucks a month for internet only. Your tax is like $1. Your TV off the antenna, all your local network channels are totally free. Your grid guide is free. Your DVR is free. Extra TVs are free. All you're paying for TV is just whatever you want to pay for. No contracts month to month. Either a la carte options, which if you schedule a call with us, we'll be able to give you a better idea what makes sense for your situation and how much you'll be paying. Worst case, you're paying 20, 30 bucks a month for like a bundle of cable channels, from what we recommend at least. And it integrates it all in here. Or if you go back a screen, again, there's different ways to do it, right? It's all personal preference, but you can see I have like my recent channels here that I went to. I have kind of some featured apps. I have a sports row here. I have a news row here. So there's different ways to get to it besides the grid guide that you can get to the same exact content. You can see it's even doing a preview up there right now. If you subscribe to something like Sling, it has kind of like your favorite channels up here. Really, it's all kind of customizable. So that's what freeTVee comes out and installs to make it so it's really easy to use at your house. First things first, we're going to talk about some live streaming services now. So Sling TV is a bundle that's like $30 a month, and it gives you a lot of flexibility. They have add-on packages for like extra news, extra sports, stuff like that. It's a little confusing because you have a lot of options, and we can help with that, obviously. If you tell us like, hey, here's the top 5 channels we care about, we'll be able to let you know kind of what makes the most sense for you. The best way to do that, because everybody's situation is different, is just go to our website, freeTVee.com. Click on schedule a call if you're a new customer, and we'll set up a free consultation and be able to walk you through exactly how much money we can save you every month. Like I said, our average customer saves $1,500 every year, so significant. But we can also chat with you and your spouse about, hey, like, here's the channels you want. Here's what we recommend. Here's how much money we can save you off your cable and satellite bill every month, that type of thing. Sling TV, though, I'll give you a real quick kind of rundown. If you care about sports and news, like it has Fox News and CNN and MSNBC and ESPNs and FS1, FS2, NBC Sports Network, pretty much about anything you can think of, all in Sling TV. The packages start at like about 30 bucks a month, but you can access it here, Or you can actually just go into the Sling TV app directly. Again, I'm not changing TV inputs. I'm not grabbing different remotes. It's all super simple in one remote. We can even put it all in the same grid TV guide. So here is your Sling stuff. You can see they have a grid guide as well if you like that. Or the other thing you can do is you can actually go up top here and you can change the interface. So it's more of a tile-based, kind of like a Netflix type of thing if you prefer that. You can also do voice remote and say like watch Fox News, and it pulls it up that way for most channels as well. So there's, again, different ways to do the same thing. It's all personal preference. If I go up top here, you can see I have even a sports section on here. There's on demand, on now, hence the name is what's on now. And then my TV section, you can basically set up kind of like favorites, like my channels, you can see here. What's trending, what's recommended based off of what I've watched, things like that. There's my DVR, my recordings for my cable and satellite type of stuff. So again, Sling, instead of being $200 a month like traditional cable and satellite, and you're locked into contracts and all that other nonsense, it actually is just $30 a month, and it gives you like 40 some channels, including like Fox News, CNN, whatever. So if you go to the blog on the website, there's actually a comparison chart there. There's a link to Sling, so you can go to their website and check it out, figure out if it makes sense for you. Or if you're a new customer, we can actually just, if you go to our website, just up top, just schedule a call there. So that's Sling, pretty straightforward. There's different types of streaming services. They're basically competitors. Really, there's about 10 different competitors. You can see when you first tune into Sling, like it just kind of streams up and you're good to go, right? So that's it. So I'm going to hit the home button here, go back home. Again, one remote. You wouldn't have the need to have two of these services, but the other option is there's a service called Philo. Philo is basically like Sling. It integrates in with everything we're seeing here. However, no news, no sports. But it's like amazing deal because it's like 60 channels, 60 cable channels for $20 a month. Again, all these are month to month, and because you're doing the antenna for your local network channels, not only is your bill less expensive, but let's say it's summertime. Hey, my shows aren't on. Oh, hey, coronavirus hits. There's no sports for like 6 months. Why would you pay for Sling, right? Just cancel it. It's all month to month. So as a cord cutter with freeTVee, not only are you saving a whole bunch of money, $1,500 a year, but you're in control. You're in the driver's seat because you have your antenna that we've installed outdoors, and you're getting 50, 60 channels for free, and all your major networks are free. That's always there no matter what. So you can still get your local news and keep up what's going on with coronavirus and the weather and whatever else. But let's say there's no sports, right? Or let's say you just want sports for NFL season. Or let's say they cancel college football. Well, great. You just cancel your Sling, and who cares? Instead of paying $30 a month, you're literally going from 30 to 0. So your old cable bill went from 200 down to like 30 to 50 for internet, 0 for TV because you're getting all your free antenna channels and your local network channels free. Maybe you're paying something like a la carte, or you're paying Philo $20 a month for 60 cable channels, or you're paying Sling $30 a month for your news and sports. Or sports is canceled. Hey, I want to cancel my Sling. No big deal, right? Click, cancel. It's that simple. So you're actually going from $200 a month down to $50 a month. So you're saving $150. So you're basically saving about $2,000 a year because you're not paying for any cable channels. That's the type of control that we want to give you, because it shouldn't be cable and satellite and Comcast dictating to you like, hey, here's the deal. Oh, you don't have altitude anymore. Oh, you don't have any sports, but you're still paying for them, right? It makes no sense. It's ridiculous. Why are we a slave to what they're doing? When they have a monopoly, they can do whatever they want. We're just taking that monopoly and getting the freedom back to put the control back in your hands, and obviously save you a huge amount of money, but making it easy to use. So, you have everything you want, but easy to use. So those are the streaming services we recommend: antenna plus Sling or Philo, because that's going to reduce your bill and give you the control to shut it off whenever you want to and actually be paying nothing for TV, right? Hence the name freeTVee. Now, there are other streaming options for live TV services. they're still less than cable and satellite, so it's definitely still a good way to go, especially if you're in an apartment where you can't get antenna reception or something. Unfortunately, your choices are a little bit limited for now. There are things like Hulu Live or YouTube TV, so we'll show you that next. So YouTube TV, unfortunately, because they have locals and sports and news, they have like 80 channels for $65 a month. So it's still a pretty good deal. It's not as good a deal as $30 a month, obviously, which is why we recommend the antenna. They're always going to be a little bit more expensive. There's going to be probably little tiny, price bumps, year over year. But it's still a better deal than, say, cable and satellite, right? Because cable and satellite is going to start at $150, $200 a month. They're going to lock you into a 2-year contract, and they're going to jack your price up to $200, $250 a month. So don't be fooled. Even though YouTube Live and Hulu Live and stuff like that are more expensive, and maybe you're forced to get those if you're in an apartment, they're never going to be anywhere near what you're paying for, traditional cable and satellite. That's for sure. So anyway, this is YouTube Live. You can see the picture quality just like all the streaming, because we hook up a mesh network and we do it right. If you kind of try to piecemeal something together yourself, maybe you have friends or family members that have tried to cut the cord. They do indoor antennas. They go the cheap route. They're missing channels. It's breaking up. The reception's terrible. And they're doing streaming and they're renting their crappy modem router from Comcast for $14 a month. You're not going to see streaming like this, right? This is working properly because we know what to do, right? Because we've been doing it forever. So we install the proper streaming stick that is a 4K stick. We install a mesh network, which gets you rock solid Wi-Fi throughout your house. It doesn't just make your streaming better. It makes everything you do better, right? Because everything's dependent on your network nowadays. Computer issues, Wi-Fi issues. We'll have separate webinars in the future on this specific topic of modems, routers, Wi-Fi, streaming issues, stuff like that. So definitely tune in. If you have people that have tried to kind of cut the cord and piecemeal it together and they're having frustrations, definitely send them our way. Have them tune into one of the webinars. You can see I can actually pause live TV. I can do all the same stuff. If I go back to kind of the main homepage, again, this is YouTube Live. I can get into my grid TV guide. So I have all the same channels. Again, YouTube Live is going to be more expensive because it has local channels in there, whereas the stuff that we normally recommend for most people, if you can get antenna reception, is install an antenna from freeTVee. It'll be rock solid, and that gives you the freedom to cut it off whenever you want, but also reduce your bill. Still get the cable channels through something like Philo or Sling. YouTube is just basically a competitor. There's actually like more competitors as well that we don't recommend. It's pretty great though, right? Because you still have all your same channels, your 80 plus cable channels, live, on demand, DVR. So you can tune into live stuff. You can pause live TV. You can record shows. You can skip commercials. It's all the same stuff that you're used to before with traditional cable and satellite. It's just less expensive and no contracts. I won't go into the other streaming services that are live because these are the ones we recommend. They're pretty similar. They're just going to be, maybe not as good a quality or not as many channels, things like that. There are other things out there though. Just kind of be aware. What I'll get into next, I'll hit the home button on here, is really what kind of opens the door for cord cutting is people are like, hey, I have this gigantic Comcast bill of $200 a month for my bundle. Why am I paying that much money every single month? Because I'm watching Netflix like half the time, right? So that's the other thing, is a cord cutter that we put front and center for you is all these other great streaming services. Netflix has thousands and thousands of movies and TV shows on demand, commercial free, whenever you want to watch them, right? They're winning awards with some of the stuff that they're actually making themselves. Amazon Prime. A lot of people actually have Amazon Prime for shipping. They don't realize you can get thousands and thousands of movies and TV shows, music, all kinds of other great stuff, photo backup, all for free, including with their Prime. YouTube has a bunch of great stuff for free. Any content you want, basically, you can say, like, me personally, I play volleyball. I like volleyball. So I have all kinds of stuff just saved on there that I can watch volleyball for free whenever I want. So that's kind of the live stuff that, has also on-demand possibilities as well that we're getting into next with like Netflix and Prime. I won't go into this a lot today, but there's a lot of great free stuff, believe it or not. We'll have a webinar in 2 weeks. So if you go to the website, you click on watch a webinar, you can sign up and we'll do a lot of free streaming service stuff. There's, kind of the 7 best free streaming service apps that we'll cover. But there's all kinds of just amazing free stuff on here. You can even access the internet on here. You can access your pictures on here. You can access your music on here. There's even free radio stations, talk radio, news radio, sports radio. So again, pretty amazing the amount of content that you can get to. We'll have a separate webinar on that in a couple weeks, so definitely go to the website and register for that. Again, freeTVee.com. If you go up to the top here, click on Watch a Webinar. That'll take you to all the future webinar topics. We'll be talking about really anything. Free streaming apps is the one in 2 weeks. The week after that, we're going to be talking about sports and how you can access sports as a cord cutter, so you can sign up for that one. And the week after that, we'll be talking about Comcast Flex and Peacock. You'll be hearing a lot of that because Comcast is spending like millions and millions of dollars to advertise their new. It's basically just a spin, right? They want to keep you in their universe. Not too shocking that Comcast is coming out with new things to make it sound like they're helping people cut the cord, but they're absolutely not helping people cut the cord at all. It's the same old bait and switch pricing. It's the same old extra, broadcast TV fee and sports TV fee and box fees and HD fees and all that good stuff too. They're just locking you into their ecosystem. So anyway, we'll have a webinar on that. We'll have a webinar just on cord cutting in general. So definitely share this with your friends and family. We appreciate any type of referrals you give us. If you come up top, you can refer a friend if you're a customer. Watch a webinar for future webinars, whether that's for you or for other people, friends, family that need help. And then if you're new to freeTVee, just come up top here and schedule a call. That's what I'd recommend if you're new to freeTVee and you're just trying to figure out like, hey, here's what I'm paying with Comcast. How much money can I save? Here's my top 5 channels me and my spouse need to have. We'll be able to sit down with a one-on-one phone consultation and let you know exactly how much money we can save you and exactly what you're going to be paying. That's the best way to do that. Again, it's freeTVee.com, and then just click on schedule a call if you're a new customer, or if you want to sign up for future webinars, just bookmark our website and check in the future. If you have any questions, definitely on the YouTube chat here, put it on the right-hand side. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And then definitely subscribe to our freeTVee channel on YouTube as well. And that'll get you any tips and tricks in the future and any future webinars, things like that. I think we'll call it a wrap, though, if nobody has any questions. Thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we look forward to helping you cut the cord and save money. Again, freeTVee is all about kind of 3 things. One, saving money. Our average customer saves $1,500 every year, not just one-time bait and switch like cable and satellite, but forever savings. 2 is the flexibility, no contracts. We have a bunch of free stuff, obviously. How can you have a contract on free stuff? But even the stuff for cable channels for either a la carte or even the bundles for, 40, 50, 60 cable channels, 20, 30 bucks a month. Those are all no contracts, month to month type of thing. And then the third thing is just ease of use, right? One remote control, one interface. You're not having to change TV inputs, that type of thing. We want to set people up to be successful, right? We're here to educate and help people make better decisions about TV. We support cord cutting in all forms. We just want to help you get away from the monopolies that have been abusing customers and the poor customer service and the bait and switch pricing. We just think it's a terrible business model, quite frankly, at the end of the day. That's why I created freeTVee, was to help people out. It's not easy cutting the cord. We're experts at it. We've been doing it for 10 years. We're A+ in the BBB. We got nothing but 5-star reviews. So anyway, hit up our website, freeTVee.com. Schedule a call if you're a new customer. You get a one-on-one free consultation, or click on watch a webinar for future webinars. All right. Thanks. We'll see you guys every Wednesday for Webinar Wednesdays. And take care and have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.